Hello, I'm Craig Wagner, the jazz guitar professor here at the University of Louisville, Jazz Studies program. Just here to give you an idea of what the expectations would be for incoming auditions into our program, into the Jazz Guitar Studio. So basically, some of the harmonic requirements that would be expected of you would be to learn your basic root position voicings, which means the root note of the chord would be on the bottom of the voicing. So our basic ones would be off the 6th string and the 5th string. So let's go through a few of those real quick before we apply them to maybe a tune, okay? So let's just take a good middle position key like the key of B flat. It ends up being right here, around here in the 6th position of your guitar. So a major 7th form off the 6th string, maybe a dominant 7th form. This is specifically a dominant 13th, minor 7th, possibly minor 9, okay, minor 7th flat 5, sometimes known as a half diminished chord, and fully diminished 7th chord, okay? And then maybe for good measure doing an alter dominant voicing. A 1 off the 6th string would be a dominant 7 sharp 5. That one always works really well. So that's about 5 or 6 voicings off the 6th string, and then you'll probably need that many off of the 5th string. This is in order to kind of function on the basic level in a jazz combo when you're reading a chord chart. The next step would be to try to apply those to any given jazz standard, and we have a list of those on our website that you can look at to see what some basic requirements would be. One of the all-time most common and great jazz standards is a tune known as Autumn Leaves. That's always a good one to start with. Here's the tune in time, Autumn Leaves. That's the first 8 bars of that tune. So we would be looking for you to play also the melodies to these tunes. We'll stick with Autumn Leaves for right now to give you an idea of what to play on that particular tune. We just want the melodies to be played very clearly, nothing fancy, anything like that. Typical way that one would play the melody would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Giving you some harmony behind that so you know the context of the tune. So the expectations on the soloing, which is kind of the main part of studying jazz, right? Improvisation. Remember to start off very lyrically, very melodically, very simply. I'll just demonstrate something that would be kind of a typical expectation. And I will put some chords in the middle. Since I have no backup here, I'll put some chords in between some of my lines to give you an idea. But we don't need anything fast, any crazy double time lines or anything like that. Just showing that you can improvise around the melody through the chord changes, and that you know what that means. 1, 2, 3, 4. etc. Just the audition process in itself, it can be completely nerve-wracking, right? It's very nervous to be in front of a group of people that, you know, have a lot of experience and a lot of expertise in a certain area, and you have to go up and play with them in this really, you know, kind of sterile environment of a classroom, you know, overhead lights, and, you know, it's just not conducive a lot to that kind of creative process. Try to, if you can, just understand that we're looking not for the perfect performance. We're just learning more about you as a player. We're looking the kind of student we're looking for the kind of student you would be. Your work ethic, your basic attitude, your love and joy of music in general. And I think if you just come in and play as you are and play the way you are, you're going to be fine. It's not going to be anything to be too nervous about. We would just like you to have a positive experience when you come and visit us, and just kind of hang out a little, get to know us as a faculty, because we would be largely who you'd be working with. We're pretty nice guys overall, and I think we have a really good community and a good environment, both with the students and the faculty, and good communication between the two. It's a good setting. So I think all those things, once you would get here, would put you at ease about the whole process. So just come in and have some fun, and give us a visit and let us hear you play. Sight reading, learning how to improvise over different types of changes, different harmonic backdrops, different grooves, you know, working on your sound, all that kind of thing is going to make you the most versatile player that you can imagine, which would make you really that much more marketable than any kind of musical situation that would be out there. They know, hey, we need a guitar player that can read and can play styles. And, like, you know, you can go out and play all these shows, get, you know, make a really decent kind of living playing things like that. But people have gone on and played in touring bands. I've had students that have played in like the premier army bands out there. They've traveled all over the world. People have gone on with those same skills and decided to go into teaching and teach at other universities now, and teach at high schools and with music programs. Really, the sky's the limit as far as that goes. It just, what you'll get here is all those skill sets that make you a better performer, a better band member, and that teach you both the skills of performance, but also of listening to your peers and colleagues who you're playing with. So this is an example of what your audition may look like.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so after high school, I knew I wanted to study music. I knew specifically I wanted to do performance because I played many gigs in high school, and I've got a couple groups together and we played around where I live, which is Charlotte, North Carolina, and just the performance aspect I liked a lot. So I decided to pursue that for jazz guitar, and Louisville was one of my choices. And I was looking at several other schools, but Louisville was really the best choice for me because they have an outstanding jazz program. All right, so when I was in my college search looking for schools, I attended the Jamey Aebersold Jazz Camp the past 2 years. And before that, I didn't really know much about U of L. But once I came to the camp and I got to know the instructors and everything, they just had absolute wonderful staff. And Greg Wagner, of course, is a great instructor. And he was hands down. They had instructors from other schools there, but Craig was definitely the one that stood out to me. And so I chose U of L to come and audition for. And also the school is great too. It's a pretty big school, but the music school is a good size. So you don't feel intimidated, and everyone around you is very supportive, and we all collaboratively get together and have jam sessions and that kind of thing. So we all get along. So when I came to audition for U of L, it was actually my last college audition. I had auditioned for a couple other schools like North Texas and Berkeley, and the audition process was really different here. And I preferred it over the other two because you audition in front of the whole jazz faculty. It's kind of intimidating, but they're all super cool. So it wasn't too stressful for me. And the best part about it is you get to play with the faculty when you audition, and that's way better than playing to a backing track or something like that. And you can interact more when you're playing, and you just play better because you're playing with really good musicians. And so coming to the end of my first semester, I've been really, really happy with U of L. It's exceeded my expectations, actually. I've met so many people and made connections already, and I look forward to the future here. And it's just a great program. All the instructors are great. You just get along with everyone, and that's the cool thing. And we all support each other, and as we continue our musical journey and learn jazz together, basically. And we see each other improve, and everyone kind of acknowledges that, and it's not really a competition. So you have time to develop, and everyone respects that, which is a great thing about the school. The faculty is really connected with the students. You can see them play on Wednesday nights down the street or at many different venues around town. And that's a really cool thing, is that you can just basically be friends with these guys, and then they can help you make connections around town, and which is really awesome. And I just think the faculty to student experience is one of the best out of many of the colleges that I've looked at, and that's why I chose U of L. So after I graduate, thinking ahead to the future, I'd like to maybe teach a little bit, gig here and there. I also like to do video and studio recording, so that could also be an option. But I really like to perform the most, so if I could balance that with teaching and playing, that'd be really good. I would definitely recommend it because we have one of the greatest student to faculty relations, I think, out of many of the schools in the country. And it's also a very great jazz program. We have great staff. Everyone on the staff are just wonderful musicians and teachers. And also the students, it's a whole group of kids that get along, and everyone's super nice to each other. And just the environment at U of L too, not only just the jazz, but the other music students as well get along very well. And also outside of the school music, at just your regular classes, everyone's just really nice.